Hi everyone, it is Danny, your scrapper on the street here, and we're going to take a little walk through my Smash 365 book. It's a project I started at the start of 2013, and I've been keeping up on it, mostly because it's a no pressure project. Projects like Project Life don't really work for me. I get too bogged down with have-to-dos, so this is more of a highlight. It takes you through the high points of each season. It hits some of the big holidays, but as we go through this book, you'll totally see that I reuse these photos to tell a deeper story on 12 by 12 layouts. I use mostly Instagram photos. I actually think they're all Instagram photos. It's just a quick snapshot so that in the years to come I could pull this book out and have a overview of 2013. It won't tell every little story, it won't tell every little adventure, but it'll tell the big ones, and it'll be like a quick little reference book of Scrapper on the Street, Danny's 2013. So let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so here's the first page of the book. I use an Instagram selfie. I am a self-proclaimed self-portrait expert. I did some journaling on a tag of what I wanted for the new year, and then put a list of not exactly resolutions, but just some things that I wanted to take care of this year. And hopefully when I recap at the end, I will find that I've done that. I then have some winter pictures. I was in Ohio visiting my parents the early part of the year. I used PhotoGrid to get this before and after kind of shot, and I utilized the background in the book, the background pages, but I also like to add some of my own personality. You don't have to just stick to what the pages tell you. I continued on with the winter theme. Now it's very interesting because I live in Florida, so we don't have the snow and the cold in winter. Instead, we were at a medieval festival. It was outdoors. It was hot. I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and I was sweating profusely the entire day. But I took a ton of pictures this day, and I only used 2 of them here because we're just highlighting the event. We're just highlighting the year. We're not getting into the bits and pieces. The book, 365 Smash Book, gives you a lot of these National Opposite Day kind of fun holidays. So some of them I covered up. This one, I talked about how I'm eating healthy and that this meal that I took a picture of, again, Instagram photo, is a vegan meal. And I am by no means vegan. I could give up meat any day of the week, but I can never give up cheese long term. But this is a full-on vegan meal with soy noodles and all veggies and nuts, and it's delicious. So I talk about how it's opposite for me. Make these prompts work for you. You don't have to follow anyone else's rules but your own. Then it gets on further into January. I talk about my birthday. I highlight some of my coffee addiction. That's always got to be in there. Here I reflect a little on myself. It was, you know, a blank page with the swirl. You could see the kind of the design in the back. And I just used it for a little self-reflection. The Super Bowl page, I made sure I got the score to the game. I talked about what we ate that day and what we did. I'm not a huge Super Bowl lover unless it's the New York Football Giants in the Super Bowl, but I watch every year for the commercials, for the snack food, and I documented it. Then we have Valentine's Day. I left a lot of room for journaling, and I enhanced the pre-printed pages. I added some buttons. I felt the background page was a great background and base for my photo. The photo I enhanced using an app on my phone called Real Bokeh Effects, and I added a lot of journaling with more. This was a journaling card and I just backed it and I made sure everything coordinated. Here we have some, it's starting to get into the spring months. So this was Hello Sunshine. This was like the biggest happening in March was I went to the dentist and I had a visit from Tammy, and you know they say March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. So there was the pre-printed lion on this page, and I thought that was the perfect time to use some kitty photos and make sure they got in my books because they're an important part of my year. Then we have our St. Patty's Day. I'm not a huge celebrator of St. Patty's Day. We almost always stay in, but I made my nails all green. I drank some beer, and I just made a page where I talked about what I did for the day. I have a funny little tradition where on St. Patty's Day we have taco salad. So I made sure I captured that because that's an important part of my story. So instead of making it so detailed, I just overviewed of the day and the traditions that I carry out. I was supposed to be running a 5K, so a lot of April was training, and I actually ran a virtual 5K. Here I did some photo grids, and I was running my first Insta Living class, so that was a huge part of my year of 2013, launching my first class. So I documented that and used photos of myself. I also went to see Maroon 5, so I captured pictures of that. If you know how big of an Adam Levine fan I am, you know that this concert definitely had to make it into the highlight reel of the book. And then I captured briefly Easter, and I just talked about the players and what we ate, but more Easter pictures and stories will be told elsewhere. Then we have my sister's visit. And I literally took hundreds of pictures while my sister was in town. And no way was I going to get them all in this book. They'll be for several more layouts. But I overviewed some of the highlights, some of the funny things we did, and just wrote about it. We are not looking to capture every day, just the highlights. Then this was all greenery and supposed to be Earth Day starting to come up, but I had taken a trip to Washington DC and I had never been there before, so I wanted to make sure that got captured, a definite highlight. Here we have Cinco de Mayo, but for May, for me, is Load Month, so I captured that I participated in Load. I took a photo grid of some of my layouts, and I wrote about what Load kind of means to me because it's an interesting journey for me. We have more springtime pictures where I went to Flower and Garden and I was taking a photography class, and that was a highlight of this year. Mother's Day, I talked about being a mom to my fur babies. I used the background, and even though these two stories are different, I kind of carried over the theme with the washi on both pages, just so they coordinate. We captured Tammy's birthday here because we did a lot of fun stuff, so there was a lot to kind of say about it, and it was a highlight. We had a really good time eating in the Be Our Guest restaurant at Magic Kingdom, and my sister got a free stay for us at a very nice hotel. So there was a lot to document for that. This is Memorial Day weekend. I captured the weather using the Insta Weather app. I used a tag for some journaling. This is a restaurant we tried that weekend. And I added some of the background papers, but I left a lot the pre-printed as well. This was the Scrap Happy reunion. And I wanted to document this because, again, it was a place I'd never been before, and I really needed that to be a part of my highlight reel for the year. Absolutely. And then Father's Day, I actually didn't have a photo of Mike from Father's Day with one of the pets because I wasn't home. So I used an older photo, but still captured the relationship, and what I discuss kind of adds to that highlight reel. This page was perfect because it said road trip and had all travel, and I went to Boston in the early part of July, and I wanted to make sure that was documented. Now, this is where my book got a little out of order. These road trip pages were perfect for my Boston trip, but I actually went after 4th of July. I just went with how the pages were. They were only a few days apart, so I didn't nitpick on the order, the chronological order of it. I just wanted to highlight what I did that year and get close enough to the dates. So I captured the weather, I made some cupcakes, I told some stories. Again, hundreds of pictures from 4th of July weekend, and I will tell these stories and capture it all, but it didn't all need to be told in this particular book. I spent some time with Tammy and her sister in the parks for a few days, and I liked this page, so I just added the Girl Time title to it, and I did my journaling and added a couple of photos here. These pages I haven't finished the journaling yet, but I will get to that next. Okay, I'm back, and now that we've walked through my highlighted year so far, going forward, first the videos will be much shorter, but I am going to show you the rest of my book, how to make these pages your own, how to tell your highlighted stories, and we're gonna have live chats. Thursday's live chat will be me creating my Labor Day pages and a couple of pages live on camera, so I hope you'll join me. And we're just going to have a lot of fun finishing out this year. Now, if you haven't started a book yet, you don't have to run out and try to catch up the whole year. Just start collecting ideas. And we're going to be doing this whole project again from the 1st of January through next year. And we're just going to put together the book together starting next year. So this year's going to finish off giving you a bunch of inspiration and ideas, and then next year we're going to kick off and we're going to do it together. So stay tuned. Come chat with us live on Thursday, and let me know if you have any questions, because I'd be more than happy to answer them. Be sure you're signed up for the Scrapper on the Street mailing list, because there'll be a lot of specials, fun tips, tricks, and you don't want to miss any of the excitement happening here on scrapperonthestreet.com. See you soon. Bye.